Hello, my health conscious friend. Welcome to the channel. Today, I want to talk about the 3 S's of skincare. Now, these are the 3 things that I believe to be the most contributing factors to the health of your skin. Now, the skin is the biggest organ, so it can be very sensitive at times. There's so many different factors that equal the result externally, like what your skin looks like. Now, I just left getting a facial. When I've been seeing an esthetician for like 4 or 5 months now, and you can see there's like some red marks and stuff. That's just because she had to extract things out, and it always looks worse before it looks better. So, by tomorrow, there's not going to be any redness, and my skin is very healthy, very clear. And so let's talk about the 3 S's. Now, first, we got stress. Stress is going to play such a big part in your life and your overall health. So you want to manage your stress. I found that when I'm stressed out in life, and there's good and bad stress, but when it's bad stress, that's when I might see some blemishes on my forehead and whatever, even other places on my skin. I might get a bump right here, might get a pimple on my thigh or something, A lot of times that's linked to stress. So limit your stress, man. If you want to save your hairline, don't stress out too much, because this thing is so much bigger than just diet and what we put into our bodies. It's the environment we're in. It's our mental state. So you got to meditate. You got to do breath work. You have to find your peace. Nobody's going to find it for you. You're not going to find it in a YouTube video, a podcast, an audiobook. You're not going to find it in that woman. You have to find it within yourself, within your connection with God. So limit your stress. Limit your stress. Find a good community of people to hang around. People that have your best interests in mind, in heart. Now, we move on to sugar. Now, this one's gonna be fun. Sugar, sugar, sugar. The thing we all love so much. I have a sweet tooth myself. Grew up eating Pop-Tarts and Little Debbie cakes and all that delicious, ultra-processed stuff that our parents just poison us with unknowingly. It's not their fault. They don't know. They didn't know at the time. But the sugar, man, the sugar, refined sugar specifically, when you're eating this stuff in high amounts, that's when your blemishes are going to pop up. That's when the redness and the inflammation is going to show up within your body, specifically on your skin. For me, I know I spoke about this in a previous video. When I had a high sugar diet, high processed sugar diet, I was getting bumps all over my forehead, Now, if you look at my forehead, there is virtually no bumps there. You got the redness from just getting a facial, but that's going to be gone tomorrow. But I don't really get texture skin anymore because I really have control over the sugar consumption. I don't eat refined sugar. It's just non-negotiable for me. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It's just not happening. Now, maybe there's a special occasion. I'm at a wedding or it's my birthday or something, and there's some cake, or like for instance, a few weeks ago I was at Nobu for a friend's birthday celebration. They brought out this matcha ice cream, and I just said, you know what, F it, I'll have a little fun. And it was delicious. And I didn't get any breakouts from it, no acne popping up. So sometimes you can indulge a little bit if your overall health is in check, And look, let me establish this too. Let me say this. Some people just have great genetics and their skin is always clear. It doesn't matter what they eat. They eat fast food all the time, and then their skin is they just got that glass skin. That's not everybody. Some people just get lucky, and that's why the external is not as important as what's going on inside, So same thing with like physical beauty. Somebody could be the most beautiful person physically, but if their inside isn't beautiful, it makes them ugly. So kind of lost what I was saying there, but yeah, the sugar. Get a hold of the sugar. I know we all have the cravings, and it's tempting. It's really hard when you're so used to eating this stuff for comfort, and you get that dopamine release from something sweet. But usually when you're craving something sugary, it could be linked to something more emotionally, like deeper emotionally, like you need some type of love and connection in your life. So just keep that in mind, something to think about. I know it may sound like kind of like pseudoscience, whatever, but look, do some research on it, man. All this stuff is connected to our emotions, what we eat, It's like, that's why they call it comfort food. You want to feel comforted. You want to feel at home. You want to feel love. It's what these things remind you of. So limit the sugar. Eat some fruit. Even if you eat too much fruit, you know, some of these high sugar fruits, even that can lead to some skin issues. So this all ties into like eating intuitively, doing your own research, finding the foods that work for you. I know if I eat too much chocolate or something, I'm gonna get pimples. It is what it is. Or if I eat too much processed foods, too many chips and sugar, like I'm gonna get bumps on my head and on my forehead. And you know, you got to know that about yourself. I know I can be gluttonous. It is what it is. So, you know, I would rather get my nutrition from the whole foods, the one ingredient foods that I know are nourishing me and don't really cause me to overeat. You know, find those foods that you really enjoy when you're eating them, but you don't have the temptation to overeat them too much. Now, I said sugar was going to be my favorite one to talk about. I love talking about food, as you can tell from all my videos, especially on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram or TikTok, you can find me at Troy Blyden. We're growing a lot on there. You can pick up the Imperfect Lifestyle Guide on troyblyden.com. That's where I talk about my philosophy on nutrition, fitness, and mindfulness. It's a 50-page document that I created on my birthday last year and selling it for $30. If you want to support, get some more information, check it out. Now, let's go back into the third S. So far we got stress, we got sugar. Now, the third one, sleep. We gotta sleep, man. And this is my weakest point in this whole nutrition and health ecosystem. It's sleep. That's where I lack. And sleep can be linked to so many things. It can be linked to caffeine consumption. For me, I'm a sensitive person. I'm very sensitive to caffeine, very sensitive. Coffee gets me super jittery, even though I love it. I love the taste. I love the experience of like getting a nice coffee. Nice coffee, not iced coffee. I don't like iced coffee. But I love that experience, the ritual of it. But I know it makes me jump off the walls. So I want to be able to sleep. So I try to stay away from the coffee. Now, I'm a tea drinker as well. I love yerba mate. I love green tea, matcha. I love tea. But still, if I drink too much, my sleep is wrecked. And then I wake up the next day groggy, and then I'm like looking for more caffeine to have some energy to get through the day. That's not cool, man. When you sleep well, you get your 8 hours or 7 or 9, however many hours your body needs, you are gonna feel like Superman or Superwoman the next day. There's just no getting around it. I know you have that feeling. You've had that feeling before. You know, maybe you're a chronic undersleeper, but some point in your life, maybe when you were a kid, you would sleep through the whole night on the weekend or something, sleep for what seemed to be like 12 hours, and you wake up just feeling like a new person. Just, oh my, I'm ready to attack the day. You know, that's the type of energy we should have throughout most of our life. And we get so brainwashed into this rat race where we're drinking caffeine just to go to a job that we hate, wear a collar around our neck to work for a boss we hate, and to get money to pay for stuff that we don't care about. And it's just a trap. So once you kind of separate yourself from that hamster wheel of caffeine, no sleep, caffeine, no sleep, caffeine, stressed out. See how the sleep ties in with the stress, and then that leads to more sugar consumption. It's all connected. It is all connected, I promise. This is a very complex machine that we need to be in alignment with nature, with the circadian rhythm. So you need to get your sleep. I'm talking to myself mostly right now. When I get my sleep, 2 nights ago, I got some of the best sleep I've gotten in a while. And I was just like, just walking around, just like, oh my God, I want to feel like this 24/7. And it's like, at that point, I don't need caffeine. I'm not going to drink caffeine then. I have what I need, what I would be looking for from caffeine. So there's no point. Now, last night, I got decent sleep. I slept okay. But I woke up, had a little bit of tea, not a crazy amount. But You know, ideally, I don't drink caffeine at all. You know, I'm not gonna say I needed it today. I definitely didn't need it. But sometimes it's just nice to have. It's just like that extra ah. So just be mindful of your caffeine consumption, because that can really wreck your sleep. Guys, make sure that you are maintaining an even stress level. Like, keep it low, and recognize the difference between good stress and bad stress. Now, if your deadline is coming up and you're working on a project that you're excited about and you love, or you're working on proposing to your wife, you know, this is good stress. This is the stress we want in life. Sometimes that lets us know we're still alive and we have a lot to do. But bad stress, you're stressed out and anxious about the future. You're worried. You know, you're depressed. You know, this is the stress we do not want. We want to stay away from, and it happens. And, you know, somebody asked me on Instagram the other day, do I ever deal with depression and how do I get past it? The truth is, I do get feelings of depression. It used to be way more, you know, years ago. Even I'll even say like a year ago, you know, I was dealing with more depression. But once I got more clear on what my purpose is on this planet, what I want to do, how I want to feel, how I want to make other people feel, that stuff goes away, because you realize that it's bigger than you. And, you know, the better I sleep, the better my diet is, the more I connect with good people, the more I get my creativity out. There's no room for depression there. There's no room for anxiety. I'm flowing. I'm going with the wind. I'm like, I wake up every morning now. I'm like, God, what is my mission today? What am I here to do? And then you just got to stay open to the answer, you know? So get your sleep. You know, that's a gift from God, to go to sleep and rejuvenate. Your cells heal while you're sleeping. Sleep is probably the most important one out of all three of these: stress, sugar, and sleep. Sleep is where our bodies heal. For my people who are into fitness, who weight lift, you don't grow when you're lifting the weight. You grow when you're resting, when you're sleeping. That's when your muscles and your cells rejuvenate. Don't get this thing confused, man. It's not always about more. Sometimes we have to slow down, sleep, shut our brains off, turn the phone off. After this video, maybe you need to just shut the phone off for a little bit, or shut the computer off and meditate a little bit. I'm gonna finish this video in a second here, and I'm gonna go meditate. I'm gonna go do some breath work. That's what keeps me sane. That's what keeps me grounded. And these cool toe shoes. But look, man, I'm gonna end it right there. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, and you need somebody that can help hold you accountable in your nutrition and your overall health, I can be that person. I would love to work with you. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, or you can book a free 15-minute consultation with the link in the description. So I look forward to talking to you. Again, go to troyblyden.com if you want to purchase the Imperfect Lifestyle Guide. Tons of information in there. It's about 50 pages. Let me know what you think. It's getting great reviews. And until the next video, y'all be well. Make sure to get your sleep. Don't eat too much sugar. And don't stress out, man. We only get one life, you know, one body. Take care of it. Call your mom if she's still here. You know, love everybody around you. Surround yourself with good people, and God will take care of the rest. Trust and believe that. So much love to you guys. Peace.